Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, it's a hot start to the week with a supersized dose of juicy hot topics. And the shocking arrest of Beverly Hills housewife Kim Richards. Hollywood insider Perez Hilton has the latest in our inside scoop. Plus, Trendy at Wendy is back. We've got big discounts on amazing items just for Wendy watchers. Now, here's Wendy!
I know you have choices. I'm doing great. How you doing? Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. They're just happy to be inside. It's a terribly rainy day here in New York. It's raining cats and dogs outside. But, by the way, happy 420. So I had a terrific, relaxing, hectic weekend. Relaxing and hectic at the same time. I was the keynote speaker at the Ultimate Women's Expo in Houston. And it was wonderful. There were thousands of people, and on the plane, I got something accomplished that I had never done before. Now I feel part of the movement. I saw Gone Girl. Now, here's the thing, because it's not that I don't like the movies, it's that it's dark in there, and I have this thing about bed bugs. And mice, and strange sticky stuff on the floor. Number one. And then number two, I won't call it ADD, but I need to multitask. I can't just sit in a dark theater. I've got to sit, on my bed and watch a movie at home and sew a wig or make my list of things to do for the weekend or be in the kitchen, cooking, dinner or something. But Gone Girl was a really good movie. Why didn't you all tell me? Anyway, and shout out to everybody I saw in Houston. Thank you very much. On Friday, I'm heading to Detroit. Detroit, how you doing? I'm gonna be performing my one-woman sit-down show. Most people call it stand-up, but on account I'm lazy, I'll be sitting. And that's gonna be in Detroit on Friday at the Soundboard at the Motor City Casino Hotel. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster, and I hope to see you there. Yeah. So, only 4 days away from Bruce. I was thinking about it all weekend, like, wow, this is gonna be so good. Now, I'll be, on stage doing my sit down, but somebody's gonna DVR it and rush it over to the house. Okay, so that I'm prepared for Monday's show, so we can all talk, about what we saw. So it's Friday. It starts at 8 o'clock. Bruce Jenner is going to sit down for two juicy hours with Diane Sawyer. Now, we showed you a piece of the promo last week, and you might have seen some of the promos playing on TV. But we've got a new promo that was just released. I know. Of course I came prepared. You take a look at it, and then we'll talk. Hit it.
Friday night on ABC, Bruce Jenner, gold medal, record-shattering Olympic hero, high-energy, big-hearted dad, celebrity living every day in the harsh glare of the paparazzi. Now, finally, Bruce Jenner.
My whole life has been getting me ready for this.
On Family.
Those are the only ones I'm concerned with. I can't let myself hurt them.
And the journey, the decisions, the future. Bruce Jenner, The Interview.
It made me who I am.
Friday at 9/8 Central on ABC.
I mean, not for nothing, I think that Bruce looks terrific. All things considered. I mean, you know, he looks terrific. His lips are nice and pillowy. He looks like, no, honestly, like, show that again, right? He doesn't look like he's had anything more than the facelift that he was left with when he was with the woman. You know, his hair or wig or extensions or plugs or whatever that is, that looks, I mean, all things considered, you all, I think that Bruce looks pretty doggone terrific, and he really is starting to feminize, I feel. So I just wish that he wasn't doing this on TV. I was thinking about this over the weekend, you know, and you know I'm nosy. My mouth salivates is at, you know, something good, you know, some good dish. But you know what? Thinking as a rational person, as opposed to the scandalous person I can be, this should not be done on TV. Like, you know, I think Chaz is one thing, you know, Cher's son. Chaz is one thing because Chaz has no kids, you know, and the only heart that Chaz seemed to be breaking is his mother's heart, you know. And don't we all break our mother's heart at some point or another? But I feel like, you know, Bruce has 6 kids. And you can say what you want, oh, the family is accepting and whatnot. Yeah, that's the united front that they put on, in my mind. Then you got Bruce doing this while his 17-year-old high school dropout daughter is spiraling out of control. She is underage and undereducated and overinflated every place. And dating a 25-year-old man and living in a $2.8 million house in Calabasas with a pool and everything. Have you seen the house in the magazines? Like, just because you can afford to do it doesn't mean you're supposed to be doing it. And you know, I was reading on RadarOnline.com that Kylie has yet to see Bruce since he got his alleged breast implants. Well, this is Kylie, this is this little one right here. And she doesn't even do him the respect to call him up, according to what they're saying, and say, Dad, I can't make it today. Instead, she strings him along and then just doesn't show up. Well, if you were 17 going through things, would you show up? No, that's rhetorical. You know, everybody, you know, to each their own. To each their own. But, you know, and then Kendall's got the best job ever. That's the one who's the model, who's like 20, because she can always be out of the country in Switzerland or something. She doesn't even have to deal with the mess. Or whatever he's going through. And then they say that Kim allegedly is not happy with this either. They're saying that his sons are going along with it. If you were Brody and the sons, would you be going along with this, or would you have a definite problem with your father transitioning in front of everybody? Because to me, it's not about the transition. I'm glad that, you know, we live in a society now where we're more accepting of a lot of things, except we as Black people still do get followed in Neiman Marcus. I mean, isn't that funny? We're accepting of so much in this society, but we just can't accept a Black person shopping at 1 o'clock in the afternoon without having security follow us around like we're stealing. Anyway, it is what it is. But you know, if you were his sons, all 3 of them, would you have a problem with this? But would you put on a united front and act like you don't have a problem with it? Yes. Maybe. Yeah, I just, you know, and then I was also reading that Chloe, who's usually the more gentle of them all, you know, accepting of everybody, woo, 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 you know. I was reading that Chloe and that woman, dressed like Seri Cruz, she's dressed like Seri Cruz, the woman is. Anyway, I read that Chloe and that woman went over to Bruce's house, but that was more, they're alleging, to save face, because society is getting down on Chris now for not being supportive of Bruce. So now, in order to save face and to look good in front of you all, what she did, they alleged, called the paparazzi, so the paparazzi was there so that they could, so that they could see Chloe and Chris going into Bruce's house. So, you know, I don't know what to make of it. I'm glad it's not my dad. You all watch on Friday, and I'll catch up with you with that, and we'll talk about it on Monday. Oh, yes, we will. Yes, we will. So, you clap very loud, sir. You're a loud clapper. Let me hear you clap again. Yes, yes, you are loud. He's loud. Thank you. We like loud here at the show, in case you didn't notice. Sofia Vergara, everybody, is finally defending herself against her ex-fiance, Nick Loeb, the Onion Crunch King, and a fine pickle crunch king, I might add, as well. Anyway, remember, Nick claimed that Sofia wants to destroy 2 frozen embryos that they created while they were dating. Now, for those of you not familiar, most people are, an embryo is her egg and his sperm. They crash together and they put it in the Petri dish and they put it in the freezer. So now, Sofia's reps are saying that she never wanted to destroy the embryos. See, Nick is putting it out there that, you know, she wanted to destroy the embryos, and her reps are saying, no, that's not true. My thing is, well, at some point, something's got to happen with these embryos. Because I'm equating this to like a T-bone steak in your freezer. Like, it's a beautiful piece of meat. You come home from the grocery store and you wrap it up and then you put it in a Ziploc bag. But eventually the freezer burn does creep in. And we all know that freezer burn takes the flavor out of all meat, and I don't care how good the cut is. So, you know, but just my thought is, how long do you keep the embryo in the freezer before you get freezer burn? And it's no good to nobody. And people are saying that Nick, including my own Hot Topics staff, we have like 10 people on Hot Topics, and I was the only one who said, no, Nick has every right to say this. Nick, everybody's thinking here that you're a jerk for giving Sofia the business. And I said, no, he's not. First of all, half of that embryo is his, number one. And number two, both of them were less than smart to not make legal provisions if by chance they broke up. Now, what I found out over the weekend is there is paperwork that you do have to do. You have to fill out paperwork when you're doing this in the freezer. But it's provided by the lab. So, you know, they ask a lot of questions and everything, and the only caveat that Sofia and Nick agreed on, outside of the usual lab paper where you answer all the questions and then you both sign, Sofia said, if we break up, Nick, then the embryos should be destroyed. And so Nick was like, no, because I told you, he's a Republican, he believes in, he believes in right to life and that life starts at conception. So I respect that, I understand that. So she finally convinced him that he does need to sign off on this, that if they do break up, that the embryos will be destroyed. The only thing that they didn't do is they should have each called in their own lawyers for in the event that, oh, sorry, it wasn't breakup, it was in the event of death. In the event of death of one of them, then the embryo would be destroyed. But they didn't make a provision for in the event of breaking up. And that's what they should have done. Remember, they did this whole in the freezer thing 6 months before they broke up after being together for 4.5 years. So to me, 6 months before you break up, you always know there's trouble in paradise. And maybe you need to cover your behind. You know what I mean? Like, so, I like Sofia Vergara. There's not a day that goes by I don't watch Modern Family, such a funny show. But I do have to side with Nick on this one. He has every right to be out here beating the drum. And by the way, the bottom line about Nick, you know and I know, you being worth tens of millions of dollars is not enough. These days, everybody wants to be famous. You look at Donald Trump. He doesn't need that Celebrity Apprentice. People, like the wealthiest people, they're like, fame is that drug. And so for Nick is worth tens of millions of dollars. He comes from a very, very wealthy family, plus he's the Onion Crunch King, but in 2015, that's not enough. Like, everybody wants to be famous. I mean, he sent me flowers for my 50th birthday, and yeah. And he's friendly with Hot Topics, and I'm sure he's watching now, so how you doing, Nick? I'm team you on this one. Okay, let's talk about Apollo. You know what I missed last night? I fell asleep so early, I missed the Royals. Did you watch the Royals last night? No. Do you watch that show? No. Uh-oh. Wait, here's another show that I love that's about to begin. Clap if you watch The Royals on E. That's not enough people to keep it on TV. We need to start telling our friends to watch that show. It's so good. Elizabeth Hurley is the queen. And everybody gets high. Just saying. Anyway, so back to Apollo. So he's speaking out from behind bars. He's been in prison for 221 days of his 8-year sentence. I know. He talked to my people at Life and Style magazine. He says that Phaedra still hasn't brought his 2 boys to visit him. Well, apparently on last night's Real Housewives episode, Phaedra explained her dilemma. Take a look.
Whether I take the children to see their father in prison, or if I don't take them, someone's going to be unhappy. Aiden might resent the fact that he has to go to a prison to visit his father, or he could resent the fact that I don't allow him to go to the prison to see his father. So it's a no-win situation.
I agree. Just by clapation, if your man was doing 8 years in prison, would you take your children to see him? Well, okay. Clap if you feel that prison is no place for children. I'm on the fence. Well, at this particular age, absolutely not. First of all, we found out the prison that Apollo's in is like 6 hours away in Kentucky. But we know 6 hours is only like a 45-minute plane ride. Or she can have Bravo pay for it and a car service and whatnot. The problem is when Phaedra gets up to the prison, if Aiden, who's now potty trained, of course, if he has to go to the bathroom, he's not allowed to go. Then that's the end of the visit. You understand what I'm saying? And we also found out there's no place to change, Mr. President, or the Vice President. There's no changing table. There's nothing like that. Also, you know, I know that the boys are asking about their father. By the time Apollo gets out, Aiden, who's 4 years old now, will be 12 years old. Maybe Phaedra would, and some of us who don't think prison is for kids, maybe we would rethink that plan somewhere around when Aiden's maybe 9 or 10. But right now, I absolutely think not. And by the way, Phaedra, it's decided here at the show that Apollo actually gives you a storyline, because without him, and I have to say, and you know, I was telling you, I don't really care about, you know, little kids on reality TV. I don't care about the Giudice kids. I don't care, they're just boring. But I must say, of all the kids on reality TV, the only ones that I stay in the room and watch closely are the president and vice president. Because they speak so well, you never know what's gonna come out of their mouths. They're very respectful. They're just adorable, adorable kids. But Phaedra, like when she goes to what she calls that job she has as a lawyer, I don't care about that. I walk out of the room, brush my teeth or something, come back in the room, she's on her way over to the morgue. I'm leaving. You know, like I don't care anything about Phaedra's storyline. So, and furthermore, I feel as though the best way for Phaedra to handle this at this particular time is to get off reality TV and figure out what you're gonna do regarding, you know, Apollo. That's all. Anyway, did you hear this Kanye West thing over the weekend? It was so slick because we were just talking about process servers last week, right? And it's funny because when I was in Houston, this man came up to me, he wanted me to sign something, and I was apprehensive. And he apparently was watching the show. We were talking about process servers. He said, "Wendy, don't worry, I'm not process serving." I said, "Well, open the bag, let me look. Dump it out on the table." Anyway, Kanye West was at the airport with Kim and North, and they had a run-in with the paparazzi. And so Kanye is running with the baby. And some of my staffers were like, "Why is he running with the baby?" Oh, kids love that kind of bouncing. It's not like he weighs 50 pounds. You know, the little girl's a little goober, and they love that bouncing. They laugh at that. But here's what happened, right? That guy, this white guy right here, yeah, threw the papers in. Now, everything is not about race, but let's talk race for a moment. In this particular case, I do feel that if the process server was a big black man, that security, and Kanye was with about 10 security guards, you know what I'm saying? If the process server was a big black man, he would have immediately been blocked by security and he would have never gotten that off. But because the process server is a white guy in a suit, slightly balding, middle-aged, looking nothing like a Kanye West fan, he got that off. He got it off. No word on, why was he served? Do you know why he was served? Nobody knows why he was served? Well, knowing Kanye could be a multitude of things. Anyway, congratulations, process servers. Another one for your team. Have you brought your outdoor furniture out yet? Yep. Wasn't it inspiring? Like this past weekend, it was like 80 degrees here in New York. You brought the furniture out? Have you started grilling? Yes. Yeah, thank God winter's over. Anyway. So Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel just introduced their 1-week-old son to the world. It's our hot shot of the day. Hit it! So cute. 1 week old. You forget how expressive they can be at 1 week. I always think of them still with their eyes closed and stuff. Jessica Biel's pretty. Apparently, the little baby has on a Memphis Grizzlies shirt, and the Timberlakes are part owners in the Grizzlies. So congratulations, baby. Congratulations, Jessica, and Justin, you too.